Hello, welcome to Shad Life. I want to talk about this drop right here. And the reason I want to talk about this drop is this isn't really the kind of drop where you can just go super fast and just kind of like, get in that attack position or low crouch and make it to that landing. You actually have to pull and give the bike some oomph to get there. And by oomph, I'm not going to say you have to like bunny hop, but you kind of do. And I'll explain it in a minute and explain why. And then after that landing, you have that step up, which you also need to know how to pull up on the front end and get some pop off of it to make it to the top. But it is rollable if you do need to roll it. This is not rollable. That's pretty much an endo if you roll off that. So if you look at this drop, the landing is right there, the launch is there. It is just a little bit more than the wheelbase of my bike. So you got to cover a pretty decent amount of distance, and ideally you'd want to land past this tree. So it's probably like almost a wheelbase and a half, because you're going to take off back there, not right where my tire is. So yeah, I'd say a wheelbase and a half on my bike, but it's not very high. So I mean, it's about the height of the seat of my bike. So it's not like a super high tall drop, because if it was a super high tall drop, then you could just kind of give that nice push forward on the bars and just and make it. And then the other challenge is it's pretty rocky and stuff up there. So you're not gonna just have a ton of speed, unless of course you got like a big travel bike. But I'm on a hardtail here, so I'm gonna just kind of roll through that stuff and have just enough speed that if I hop drop off of this, I'll make it to the landing. I've watched a bunch of people take this and they case almost all the time. There's only been a few people I've seen actually clear this, and when they do, they actually hop off. They pull back on the bars and give the bike a little bit of a hop to get there. And then you pretty much repeat that. Oh, my bike's standing on its own now. Somehow I did that. So there you go. You can kind of see how long the drop is. There's the landing. There's the takeoff. So, and of course the bike's closer. If I had the bike out there, it's about a bike length and a half if you're to really look at it closely. So, all right, so I'm gonna go set up the camera and do this and show you how I do it. All right, hopefully I'm in the right gear here. All right. Yeah. That's gonna take a little more effort. I'm gonna do that again, but I did do it, but I want to have more flow. I definitely need more speed, and I need to pop more off of the lip, or not the lip, the drop. Here we go. There we go. Yeah. That was way better. I definitely had to hop. So this is what I talk about all the time. It's, instructors and people will try to get you on these longer, reach bikes, longer top tubes or whatever, and tell you, oh yeah, that's what you need or whatever. Well, and then they tell you get in this like low crouch attack position. The problem is as the wheelbase gets longer, the bike is more in control than you are. And if you're pulling up on the front end and it doesn't want to come up easy for like a bunny hop or to do what I just did up here, it's not good. This is one of those kind of drops where if you do that kind of low crouch and you just go fast and let the front end come down, sure, if your bike's long enough, you may get lucky, right? And the front end will come down. It likely won't make it to the downside because you just can't get enough speed coming over all those rocks. And just before the flat up there, it's a hill climb, right? So you're not going hella fast on this. I mean, you're going pretty fast, but it's not a super high drop, so you got to go more far with it. So it's one of those situations where I see these instructors teaching these techniques and just telling people to go faster, and that as long as they're in this low crouch and they have their elbows bent, they can let the front end, they have this extra room to extend. Now let's bring in this idea I talked about in my last video about bikes being too long. If your front end is too long and your front end goes down like that and your elbows hit their maximum extension, but your front end still needs to go down, it's going to yank you forward. It's going to pull your body forward. You do not want that. Whether you're centered on the bike or not, I'm not saying you lean back behind the seat. You're centered on the bike's going to rotate like this, and your arms are going to go like this as the bike rotates underneath you. And if the bike's too long, you're going to hit full extension of your arms, and it's going to pull your chest forward, your body forward. And you do not want the bike pulling you forward. This is why I talk about, don't always follow these recommendations for these super long bikes for riding stuff like this or whatever. There are some riders that can do it. Lee McCormick talks about this from Lee Like Bike. He's like, yeah, you can get these big, long, super select bikes, but they take way more work. So he goes, what are you going to do? Go to the weight room and just develop a whole bunch of extra more strength? They put more strain on your back and so on. So it's really imperative that you understand this. And there's going to be people that go in the comments and tell me I'm doing it all wrong, or you can ride whatever, just like they did in my last video. But trust me on this one, I've been riding a very long time, and this bike with a 430 millimeter reach, and I'll put a little icon in the corner here to show you what the reach measurement is, since you probably haven't seen some of my other videos. But I've seen bike companies, size charts tell me that I should be on 460, 465. I even just recently saw a bike saying I should be riding a bike with 480 millimeters of reach. I think it was Polygon on one of their enduro bikes. I'm like, there's no way that 480 millimeters of reach is the right length front end for me. I guarantee you I'm 5'7", way too long. 460 is way too long. 430 is long to yesterday's spec. 430 is not a short reach for somebody that's 5'7". That is a longer front end. It is long and slack to 2021, 2020, 2022 standards, right? So, yeah. Hopefully I made my point. Okay, so there you have it. Just wanted to do that little drop and show you how that works. Awesome. Appreciate your support from my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace.